Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. A targeted attack that left a former faculty member dead on the campus of Cal State Fullerton has the community on edge just as students are set to arrive for the fall semester.
It's been more than a year since a wild RV chase that wound through Southern California ended here in Bakersfield. Yesterday, the man behind the wheel had his fate decided by a jury. We'll have their decision coming up.
We've cleared the shelters. Now it's time to fill the Tundra. Why the work's not finished quite yet at the Bakersfield Animal Care Center. This is Tuesday, August 20th, 2019. Good morning. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of help, and we've got a week-long campaign, basically, to fill the Tundra with supplies, and we'll tell you all about that coming up.
It's kind of like part two of this whole
Exactly.
campaign, which is always nice. They go together. Weather yesterday, not too bad.
It was great, actually.
Fairly comfortable, especially in the evening hours once those temperatures sort of headed back down. Will we see a warm-up, though? Vanessa joins us this morning in for Kev with those answers. Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning. And yeah, it's pretty comfortable out there right now. 67 degrees, 59% humidity levels out there for us here in Bakersfield. So pretty cool if you ask me. We're going to start to see that warm up coming up in a little bit, though. Taking a look at 9 a.m., we're looking at 74 degrees, and clearly we're seeing that drastic warm up pretty much throughout the remainder of this afternoon. We're looking at a high of 94 by 5 p.m. this afternoon. Tehachapi, you're looking at 50 degrees, 76% humidity levels. So pretty humid out there for us. Calm winds, though, that's definitely the positive. And of course, we're looking at that warm up coming through this morning. Of course, we're looking at 83 degrees by 1 p.m. 3 p.m. it pretty much stays in the 83 degree level. And then we start to see that slight cool down in the evening hours. But we will see a warm up coming up later in this week. But I'll have a look coming up in a little bit. For now, I'm going to send it back to Alex to look at traffic.
All right, thanks so much, Vanessa. And taking you outside for the first time this morning to the 99 near White Lane. And it's looking pretty good on that side of town. Everything else around the county is looking pretty good to start off your Tuesday morning. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
Making news around the state, it's a solemn day for the California law enforcement community. Officers from across the state are expected to pay their respects to a fallen CHP officer killed last week when the driver he pulled over grabbed a rifle and opened fire. Officer Andre Moya was filling out paperwork to impound a truck last Monday, but the driver pulled out a gun and started shooting. Moya was shot but managed to call for help. 2 other officers were hurt in the shootout. The gunman died. A public memorial for Moya is happening at 10 o'clock this morning at Harvest Christian Fellowship in Riverside. A private funeral is planned after.
A manhunt in the Southland continues this morning. Police are trying to track down the person they say is responsible for a deadly attack on the Cal State Fullerton campus. A former faculty member was found dead in a car on campus yesterday morning. Police identified the victim late yesterday as 57-year-old Stephen Shek King Chan. Investigators believe this was a targeted attack, but the campus community is still rattled, with classes set to begin Saturday.
The fact that whoever did this would do it at his place of work shows a lot. Something had to be going on.
Witnesses saw the attacker running from the area after the stabbing, heading down Langsdorff Drive toward the Marriott Hotel. The attacker was described as wearing black pants and a black shirt with black hair.
A man who led police on a wild RV chase last year with his young children in tow now faces decades behind bars. The chase happened in May 2018. Police say 48-year-old Stephen Hook went on the run after threatening to kill his wife after she refused to have sex with him. He led police on a 100-mile chase in his motorhome. It started in Hollywood and ended in Bakersfield during the evening rush hour. Houck's 10-month-old and 3-year-old kids were found safe inside the RV, but he took off on foot. It took police 2 days to find him, hiding in an empty train car in a rail yard in Barstow. The L.A. County District Attorney says yesterday jurors deliberated for 2 hours before finding Houck guilty of kidnapping, child abuse, injuring his spouse, and other charges. He faces 78 years in prison and is due in court for sentencing in about 2 weeks.
A man arrested in a 4-year-old homicide case is scheduled to appear in court this morning. On Saturday, the Kern County Sheriff's Office announced the arrest in the 2015 Lost Hills murder of Jose Chavez Ochoa. KCSO says with the help of its SWAT team and Homeland Security, deputies found 46-year-old Porfirio Magana Garcia in the city of Neenach in Los Angeles County. He was arrested Friday and faces one charge of first-degree murder. Garcia is being held on a $1.2 million bail. A man police say stabbed a BPD officer in the face with a screwdriver is set to appear before a judge today. It happened Saturday at Adventist Hospital. BPD says officers were talking to William Blystone when he got a hold of a screwdriver and allegedly started stabbing one of the officers in the face. Officers arrested Blystone and booked him on several charges, including attempted murder. The officer he stabbed was treated for minor wounds. Blystone is being held without bail and is due in court later this morning.
New this morning, California is not burning, at least not as much as it has in recent years. The number of acres burned is down 90% compared to the average over the past 5 years. It's down 95% compared to last year. That's according to the Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. Those numbers are good news for California considering the destructive fires we've seen in the past 2 years. But the worst of those fires occurred in the fall, which is yet to arrive this year. Firefighters say the drop in fires could also be thanks to the amount of rain and near-record snowfall that we saw earlier this year.
Bakersfield police are looking to crack down on people driving under the influence. BPD is holding a DUI checkpoint later tonight. It's scheduled from 6 p.m. to midnight at an undisclosed location within city limits. And just a reminder, if you see a suspected drunk driver, call 911.
A heads up as you head out the door this morning, a closure on southbound M Street starts today. It's part of the 24th Street Improvement Project. For the next week, southbound traffic on M Street will be detoured. Traffic will be diverted around the closure at 24th, then south on L back to M. Northbound M should remain open, and the work is not expected to impact eastbound traffic on 23rd Street or westbound traffic on 24th Street. It's that time of year again, time for you to enjoy a cup of coffee with a cup. The Fort Tejon CHP is inviting the community to the Starbucks on Laval Road in Arvin. It's happening from 9 to 11 Thursday morning. The CHP says coffee with a cup is as simple as it sounds, a chance to meet your local officers and have a cup of coffee with them. There are no agendas at this event, just an opportunity to ask questions, voice concerns, and get to know the officers.
We successfully cleared the shelters, and now we're asking you to help fill the Tundra. Today through next Friday, August 30th, we want to help stock the Bakersfield Animal Care Center with necessary supplies. You're taking a look at last year's event. The shelter needs things like toys, blankets, puppy pads, and paper towels. The full list can be found on our website, kget.com, under the Hot Links section. You'll also get a certificate for a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts for every donation, while supplies last, one per household. We'll have the Tundra live outside our KGET studios 3 mornings next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, when you can bring the items. You can also help fill the Tundra next week at Bill Wright Toyota on Gasoline Alley Drive and North Bakersfield Toyota on Industry Parkway. Those hours are from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. Saturday, and 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. on Sunday. We'll also accept items in our KGT lobby during weekday business hours, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m.
Still ahead this morning on Sunrise, it's part of efforts to keep you safe in the event of a wildfire.
Yeah, the Action PG&E crews are taking today to make sure they're ready if you ever need to spring into action. Welcome back. When Amazon created Alexa, I'm not sure they could have ever imagined what a hit it would be with a 96-year-old woman in Bakersfield.
17 Tabitha Mills introduces us to a dancing darling, Mary Frances Redwine.
That's right. Good morning, guys. I'm so excited to share this story. I get the opportunity to interview some people who just tickle me pink, for lack of better words. Their experiences, their personality, and their lust for life. And Mary Frances is certainly one of them.
Alexa, volume up.
I love music. I love music.
Don't try to stop 96-year-old Mary Frances Redwine from dancing.
I think, well, I'm not at a bar or anything. Why can't I get up and dance if I want to? And I do.
And if you ever get the chance, go ahead and join her.
I can't describe what blues does to me. I get in a completely different dimension. It's just something in me. I said, in another life, I would have liked to have played the blues.
Now, she has a piano and sits down to play every so often, but she's never had a single lesson. This is why.
I was born July 21st in 1923 in Dustin, Oklahoma, in Hughes County. When I was about 7 years old, and there were 7 children in the family, the Depression hit, and we lost everything that we had. The Depression was hard, and then we went through the Dust Bowl, and my dad would try to farm on little farms, and we had no topsoil. And so we had no choice but to come to California.
Her family landed in Fillmore. Her parents, brothers, and sisters, everyone worked trying to make ends meet.
We tried. We really tried in every way, and we were very proud people. But it broke my dad.
It was a hard time.
You just weren't accepted very well. And I was not really bullied in school, but I was different.
Mary Frances talked differently and dressed differently than all the other kids. But one person who didn't mind.
I met Perry when I was 14 years old, and I first came to California, and he was a friend of my brother's.
She and Perry could only go on dates with her brother's supervision. But one day,
when he brought me home, I remember he gave me a kiss, and I said, "That's the man I'm going to marry."
Sure enough, they did. But they had to wait 7 years as World War II broke out.
We were so faithful in that war.
Mary Frances learned to buck and rivet, going to work for the Lockheed Aircraft Company.
They put me into soldering planes. I was on a big platform up in this huge building.
A skilled typist, she was asked to help sell war bonds. As a bond girl, she began to appear in the newspaper, magazines, and in bond advertisements. Just a shot in the dark, but I'm guessing she was a hit selling bonds. Who could resist her infectious personality?
So you just want to dance now?
She's got the moves.
Absolutely. I just want to be dancing when I am her age.
96 years
fantastic.
old, right? Well, Mary Frances says she's not sure if she has any philosophies on life, speaking of her 96 years, or any secrets to her longevity. She says it was God who put her here, and he'll take her when it's time for her to go. And I certainly think her upbeat spirit has a little something to do with that.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I want to meet her in person.
We'll go out there. We'll have coffee with her one day.
That would be awesome.
All right, thanks, Todd.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. Some tariffs on Chinese goods are on hold until mid-September, but others are scheduled to take effect in just a few weeks on September 1st. So what is this going to mean for you? According to JP Morgan, the average American household will be down about $1,000 when all the tariffs kick in. The firm estimates the average annual tariff could cost per household. It could increase from $600 from the first 2 rounds of tariffs. JP Morgan says the new tariffs will also offset the benefit Americans receiving the tax overhaul, which it estimates is around $1,300 per year. A majority of economists say they expect a recession by the end of 2021. A new feature coming to Spotify is giving parents more control over their kids' access. Spotify's premium family plan will soon have parental controls. The new feature will allow parents to control the explicit content filter setting on all accounts linked to theirs. Once the feature is on, it can't be turned off unless the account administrator does so. Spotify does already have a content filter, but this is the first time parents can set it up on their kids' accounts. The update is expected to roll out in the fall. Well, you may still be paying off that summer vacation, but if you're planning to travel for Thanksgiving, get that credit card back out again. Mandy Gaither has more.
It's months away, but experts say it's never too early to plan for Thanksgiving travel. In fact, it could save you money. According to Consumer Reports, you'll find the lowest holiday airfares if you book travel before early September. Flexibility can help when searching for inexpensive fares. For instance, planning to return after the weekend ends, maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday, can help keep prices down. For last-minute travelers, there's still hope for low-price fares. According to new numbers from the online travel search engine Skyscanner, some great Thanksgiving holiday travel deals in the past have been found 2 to 3 weeks in advance. The website says those beginning their travels on Tuesday or Wednesday can find the best deals 1 month to 2 weeks in advance. While week-long travelers' lowest fares tend to be found 2 months before the holiday to 2 weeks out. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.